Enjoy this movie recap called The Invasion starring Nicole Kidman, which was released in 2005. Please subscribe for more movie recaps. When the Space Shuttle Patriot returns to Earth, an extraterrestrial life form that resembles a fungus or spore clings to it, dispersing contaminated debris from Texas to Washington, D.C. In a similar manner to what happened with the Columbia tragedy, curious spectators sell the components on eBay. This then spreads to many of people, depriving them of their emotions when they go into REM sleep. Tucker, Jeremy Northam, the head of the CDC who is looking into the incident, is one of the first to contract the disease. When he finally succumbs, Tucker uses the CDC to spread the illness by passing the spores off as flu shots. As a result of a fabricated flu bug, people rush to get inoculated, turning into pod people when they go to sleep that night. After finding multiple patients who claim their loved ones are imposters, Tucker's ex-wife, psychiatrist Carol Bennell, Nicole Kidman, joins forces with potential love interest and colleague physician Ben Driscoll, Daniel Craig, to figure out what is actually going on. They learn about the spore and learn that it takes over the brain during REM sleep with the aid of Ben's buddy Galliano, Jeffrey Wright, a biologist. Additionally, they learn that persons who have had syphilis or ADM, or other conditions that alter the structure of the brain, are resistant to the spore because the effects of such conditions prevent the spore from latching on to the brain tissue. Oliver, Jackson Bond, Carol's son, is resistant to the spore due to symptoms like scarlet fever he experienced as a young boy. Carol remembers Wendy's comment about Wendy's spouse not being her husband when she goes to her office and looks online for comments that are similar. Suddenly, her afflicted assistant makes her favorite tea and spreads the ailment to her by infecting it. Carol is ready to sip the tea when she gets a call from Ben, so she decides to go. Carol meets Ben, Ludmilla, Stefan, and Jill, the assistant to Ludmilla, and sees Yorish turn into one of the infected. He partially awakens from REM slumber as Carol tries to take a picture of him, which results in a cardiac attack. Then Carol departs to return her kid to Tucker. When she gets to his residence, he and a few others try to grab her, and he spits on her face to infect her. She manages to get away and finds Nem in Ludi's place. When Henrik reappears, they depart after infecting a few more individuals. Safely arriving outside of Baltimore, Stefan and Jill join other Nobel Prize winners in trying to create a treatment for the alien infection. Oliver texts Carol his whereabouts before Carol and Ben split off to find him. When Jean, the young neighbor of Tucker, discovers her, she is being pursued by numerous infected while acting like she is ill. She sees several normal people attempting to pose as infected, including one woman who is dragged out of her car, another who 2 cops chase down and subdue. To help stay awake, Carol heads to a pharmacy and takes an assortment of prescription amphetamines from Ritalin to Dexedrine. She encounters Ben, who has come to seek them, but discovers that he is infected. She attacks Ben and many other individuals she had confined in a closet with the gun she earlier took from a corrupted, transforming police officer. Ben is the only one she spares. She shoots him in the leg. Shortly after a brief fight to get away, some of Ben's colleagues pick up the two on a rooftop via helicopter. Galliano follows them to the base of operations. Oliver's blood is used by researchers to make an airborne vaccine. No one recalls anything after being treated because the spore attaches to the brain during REM sleep. They have a sense of awakening after a dreamless snooze. At the conclusion of the film, upon reading the newspaper and seeing business as usual, other tragedies, war, violent news, etc., Ben and Carol are both thinking about the pod people and their heartless type. We hope you enjoyed this movie recap.